Hello from Gilbert Ray Campground in Tucson, Arizona. So I spent the past month, you wanna come up? Okay. So I spent, Mercy. So I spent the last month in Tucson, Arizona as well, in a different park, more centrally located. I didn't really film because I've been taking a break. I haven't been posting videos, but I wanted to show Gilbert Ray Campground. I do have a video from here because I stayed here last year over New Year's, but I don't think I showed the campground that well, and honestly this is such an underrated campground in southern Arizona, so I kind of wanted just to show it off and talk about it a little bit more. I'm staying here for a week. It is only $20 per night, which is the cheapest campground I've stayed at all year. There's only really two downsides to this campground. The first is location. It's kind of remote. If you want to visit Tucson, this isn't necessarily the campground to do so because it is maybe 15 minutes outside of Tucson and then you have to drive through Tucson, which is always a pain and takes a long time. So it's great for people who love hiking and biking and want that experience of being remote, because it is remote while still having great cell signal. The other downside is that it doesn't have any water hookups, which is fine. I've done that before. Most of the campgrounds I stayed at in Michigan didn't have water hookups, but they also don't have any shower facilities, so that's one thing to keep in mind as far as tank and water management goes. And probably the only real drawback of this campground. But I mean, I think many people don't think it's a big deal, especially if you're just staying for a weekend. That's not a deal breaker. I'll talk about the campground a little bit later as well, but today I am going to be going for a quick little hike. Gilbert Ray is basically in Tucson Mountain Park. So I figured I would take advantage of all the trails here. Dogs are not allowed on the trails in Tucson Mountain Park. They're not allowed in Tucson Mountain Park basically, except for in the campground. And the campground's actually decently sized for walking your dog. You can walk the dog around all the loops and everything, but you can't take it on any of the trails. So basically what it comes down to is picking the hike I want to go on. I don't want to go on one that's too long because I don't have the patience for it. And yeah, that's my only criteria. I don't want to go on one that's too long. Okay, so I think we're gonna do the Yetman Trail and Peak View Trail. Average time, 1 hour and 35 minutes. Elevation gain is 629 feet. Or I could go on an easier one. I don't know. It depends on, these are all fairly small parking lots as well, so it depends on if the parking lot is full, so I should have a backup as well. Okay, well, I guess we'll see. Okay, car's running because we're gonna let the car warm up real quick. So that's the sound in the background because I have an icy windshield. And it's been a while since I've had an icy windshield, so I have no idea. I used to have a ice scraper in my car, but I don't think I'd ever made it into my truck. I had one in my Jeep. I lived in Flagstaff for college, and that was a little more relevant. And I mean, in central and southern Arizona, you will get an icy windshield during the winter just because the temperatures dip down so low overnight. But yeah, this morning I'm getting donuts, and I am determined to get donuts now, as opposed to waiting until it warms up and my windshield is no longer icy. Okay, I think we made it up. Not quite. But yeah, so Gilbert Ray is generally pretty remote. There are a few things semi-nearby, so this donut shop is one of them. It is 10 minutes away driving, and there's a couple things in that area, nothing of real interest. There's also a gas station, I think it's a Circle K, I don't know, 15 minutes away, along with Subway and Domino's, and there is a new Starbucks going in just down the road from that as well. So not too remote, but I think remote enough. So I think we got enough progress that I'm gonna go get donuts. Alright, so I have actually discovered that there is a hot water sink for dishwashing and hair washing. So there are no water hookups here, which is not a big deal. I've stayed at places that don't have water hookups, and honestly, it's fine. I can go a week, I can go 2 weeks, it's not a big deal, except they don't have showers here, which I kind of hate. Dry camping without having access to shower houses or some kind of shower. I very rarely stay at parks like this, but I've been getting by. But this hair wash station might be a game changer, so if it's actually hot water, I will be very happy.
Alright, so update. The sink by the bathroom did not have hot water. I don't know. It actually could have been that I just needed to wait longer for it to heat up, which feels like it is often the case, but basically what I concluded, not great for washing dishes, but not bad for washing hair, because if you think about it, when you wash your hair like that, you're not actually dumping water over your head, you're just putting it over an isolated area of your body. So it wasn't hot, but it wasn't terrible. So I wouldn't want to do it when it's super cold out, but it was nice to wash my hair and not have to worry about how much water I was using. So there's that update. I think I'm gonna start wrapping up the video. I am leaving tomorrow for my next spot, which will be at Picacho Peak State Park north of Tucson. Another campground without water hookups, and they actually have a water shortage there, so I have to fill up on water before I get there. But I am planning on doing a video from Picacho, so I can talk a little bit more about that in the next video. So just to reiterate where I am, this is Gilbert Ray Campground. It is about southeast of Tucson. It's by Tucson Mountain Park, Gates Pass. Hang on, pulling out the map. Is this the map? Okay, we got the map. It's actually a very big campground as well. Mercy. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my spot because I labored over choosing the perfect spot. So I am in spot H23. So there's an H loop, a C loop, and an A loop. Campgrounds like Gilbert Ray Campground let you choose the site, and they actually have photos on the site, so you can look through all the photos, find the perfect spot for you. They also list lengths, so you don't book a spot that's too small. I got one of the larger sites in the H loop. I obviously don't really need a large site, but it's nice to have space when you're parking and backing in, and I don't know, it's nice to have a large campsite. And I also have a really nice view out of my window, so if you don't want to take all this time to look at each picture, try and decide which campsite you want and you're planning on staying at Gilbert Ray, H23 is a good option if it is open, although it might not be open. It seems like it is a highly sought after site. So I've been very pleased with my stay here despite not having any good showers, but that's okay. I can suck it up for a week. At only $20 a night, it is a great value. It's been a very pleasant experience.